What happens when the floor of a congressional hearing becomes a stage for explosive accusations of communist infiltration? When a lawmaker, under oath, alleges that domestic policies and protest movements are being secretly funded and manipulated by the Chinese Communist Party, we are not talking about a spy novel. We are talking about a real, tense, and chaotic confrontation that unfolded in the heart of the US government. One side claims to be unveiling a sinister plot to usher in communism, while the other demands actual evidence amidst the shouting. The session descends into chaos, leaving a critical question unanswered. Is this a courageous act of whistleblowing, or is it the dangerous weaponization of government for political theater?
I think he did a good job.
Okay, how about you, Governor Pritzker?
I think he did a good job.
Hochul?
Hochul, and yes, he did do a good job.
Okay, next, Perryman.
I think President Obama did a good job.
So then you would understand that Barack Obama had the very same policies for the most part on immigration that Republicans are parroting today, and yet you guys are sitting here saying that we're Gestapo. And what I would tell you is that what happens with open borders is that the real people that are coming here, the ones that are exploited, actually it hurts people on both sides, not just Americans, but the illegals. Some of you had said here to the actual committee that you are doing what you can to assist these people. But what I would say is that your policies aren't actually done from a place of understanding and sympathy. I would say that it's actually doing the exact opposite. And when you use brown people, just like they use black people with BLM and Marxists during BLM to usher that in, when you use brown people and you put Mexican flags with them saying that you stand up for illegal immigrants, but you follow the money and it's going back to the Communist Party, what you're essentially doing is using your platform as elected officials, the trust that the American people have put in you, essentially to usher in communism. You're not actually fighting for American values. Don't roll your eyes, because it's a serious topic and that's where the money's coming from. So now I'm informing you, so now you guys can make your decisions, but please be informed, sir, Mr. Walz, that if you truly do uphold the American ideologies and perspectives on the Constitution, you should not be speaking at that rally. I've given you the correct information, and as of right now, I've authorized a letter to be sent to my office to the President of the United States to rescind millions of dollars in funding that we know are going to the No Kings protests that were authorized and basically given under the last administration. That is what Congress is supposed to do, not point fingers, not blame people, but actually ensure that the American people are protected and not fighting for foreign interests, foreign governments, and also the communist.
Will the gentlelady yield for a question?
No.
You don't want to tell us what your evidence is of all this connections?
Actually, no, I will yield.
You know,
that.
I appreciate
Mr. Goldman, you'll get 5 minutes.
Take your word for it,
Let me
you'll
answer the
appreciate we might want actual evidence.
I would be happy to provide that, and I'd also be happy to inform Chairman that actually we have a letter of which you can sign on to. I know you like to sign on to letters with us, especially on the Epstein stuff. But we actually have a letter going out to Neville Singham on Friday, and it's actually signed by every single member of Oversight. I'd like to extend that to you because that letter is calling him to testify, and it's also calling for his financial transactions. And do you agree, sir, that we should not be accepting money from the Communist Chinese Party? I think anyone on this platform would agree that that should not be accepted, correct?
I would like for you to actually present evidence rather than just, quote, inform the witnesses. And now that they're informed,
look, I don't disrespect you. I'm going to answer your question. We are having a hearing on it where we can present all the evidence.
Order.
No, but let's have this
dialogue. Yeah, go ahead. You're recognized, Ms. Luna.
We are going to be having a hearing, and you can gavel on to the hearing. I'd appreciate you to do it because the fact is that the Democrat Party, remember,
is it going to be as good as the Biden impeachment hearing?
Mr. Goldman, you'll have 5 minutes in a moment.
Let's focus real quick.
Well, Mr. Chairman, she's out of time. I just think they're trying not to let me talk.
Guys, if you guys want to talk about it, I'll answer the question. But Mr. Singham is also funding Code Pink through his wife.
You know, it's my turn.
Can we ask Elon to divest from China while we're at it?
The lady's time's expired. The lady's time's expired.
We'll be having the hearing. Y'all are invited. We might have you guys back.
Thank you. Before we go to votes, which have been called, I'm going to recognize Mr. Donalds for unanimous consent.
Mr. Chairman, I want to submit a letter into the record from Congressman Richie Torres to Governor Hochul, speaking specifically about that the Penn Station Center is actually being led by MTA, where the chairman is actually appointed by the governor of New York, and the cost overruns are $7 billion.
Without objection, so ordered. And again, the witnesses, I apologize. The votes were supposed to be at 4 o'clock when we scheduled this. They've been moved to 3. We have 4 or 5 votes. We'll come back here as soon as the votes are the last vote. So pursuant to the previous order, the committee will recess for floor votes. The committee will return 5 minutes after the last vote. There are only 7 or 8 more questioners, so the committee stands in recess.
The scene we've just witnessed is a masterclass in modern political warfare. A battle fought not with policies, but with narratives. To understand what truly happened, we must dissect the roles, tactics, and the unspoken context of this confrontation. The central figure, Representative Luna, assumes the role of the accuser. Her strategy is not to build a case brick by brick, but to construct a shocking narrative in one broad stroke. She connects disparate elements, immigration policy, Black Lives Matter, and Marxist theory, and binds them together with a single, explosive claim: a conspiracy to usher in communism funded by the Chinese Communist Party. Her language is deliberately inflammatory, using terms like Gestapo to evoke strong emotional responses. This is a powerful rhetorical tactic designed to frame the debate on her terms and force her opponents into a defensive posture. Opposing her is the skeptic, a role played by her colleague who immediately challenges the foundation of her entire argument with a simple, repeated demand. I would like for you to actually present evidence. This isn't just a request for information. It's a strategic countermove. It reframes Luna's speech not as a revelation of truth, but as an unsubstantiated diatribe. The skeptic's interruption, is it gonna be as good as the Biden impeachment hearing, is dripping with sarcasm, a clear attempt to dismiss her claims as baseless political theater on par with past partisan failures. Caught between them is the moderator, the committee chairman, who struggled to maintain order, highlights the complete breakdown of legislative decorum. Let's analyze the evidence, or rather, the promise of it. Representative Luna does not present financial records, intelligence reports, or sworn testimony during her allotted time. Instead, she employs a classic deflection tactic. When pressed for proof, she points to a future event, a hearing where we can present all the evidence. She names a specific individual, Neville Singham, and mentions a letter calling for him to testify and provide financial records. This is a shrewd maneuver. By naming a target and a specific action, she lends an air of legitimacy to her claims without having to substantiate them in the moment. She even attempts to co-opt her opponent, saying, I know you like to sign on to letters with us, inviting him to join her effort, a political trap designed to make him look either complicit or uncooperative. The broader theme at play is the collision between governance and performance. This hearing ceases to be about oversight and fact-finding. It becomes a platform for creating viral moments and sound bites. The accusation that money flows from the Communist Party to fund American political groups is extraordinarily serious. If true, it's a matter of national security. However, the venue chosen for this revelation is not a quiet, secure briefing, but a public hearing, where the accusations are deployed for maximum political impact. The goal appears to be less about initiating a serious investigation and more about painting political opponents as un-American and treasonous. The insertion of a letter about the Penn Station project and Governor Hochul by another Congressman, Mr. Donalds, further underscores this point. It's an opportunistic pivot, using the platform to attack a different political rival on an unrelated matter, demonstrating how these hearings can become a free-for-all for partisan attacks. So, to answer our initial question, was this a courageous expose or political theater? Based purely on the events captured in this transcript, the proceedings bear all the hallmarks of a carefully orchestrated performance. Representative Luna executed a textbook strategy of high-impact accusations, paired with a promise of future evidence, a tactic that guarantees headlines without the immediate burden of proof. The response from her opponents was equally tactical, focusing on the procedural failure and lack of evidence to undermine her credibility. The truth about Neville Singham or any alleged communist funding remains buried, obscured by the very process that was supposed to bring it to light. The hearing was not the beginning of a resolution. It was the perpetuation of conflict, a stark reflection of a political system where winning the narrative often takes precedence over finding the truth. The session ends, not with clarity, but with a recess for votes, leaving the American people with more questions than answers. What do you think about this exchange? Is this the way to hold power accountable? Or does this style of politics erode trust in our institutions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more in-depth analysis.